on. Smell that scuff. We're fine. Hello. I clicked on the wrong scene. I need to remove that other scene. That doesn't even get used anymore. Anyway, hello. Hello, Kellen. Hello, Task Manager. Hello, Ensand. Hello, CTR, Milo, Yogi. How are you all doing today? I hope everyone's doing well. And thank you very much for the resub, Milo. I do so deeply appreciate it. Physics homework due tonight? Oh, fun. Ah, what kind of homework are you doing? Is it like paper writing homework, or is it like having to do a whole bunch of like equation style of homework? Old OBS hostage, don't mind me just doing my job. Listen, I appreciate you, because of course OBS would decide to just be a pain the first stream back. Didn't even have a chance to do anything and just immediately like, nope. Fuck you. Just gonna eat all the frames. I'm at work, but I'm the only one in the office at the moment. Oh, that sounds nice, actually. I am doing fairly well. I am unfortunately dealing once more with jaw pain. I had a thing come back around one of my teeth, and it sucks, but it is what it is, and it's not as bad as the usual jaw pain. So, I'm here! I'm doing things! Digital computer stuff with the estimated time cost, according to the website, is 3+ hours for 26 questions of just, hey, this is how you do the shit you did last semester. I see. They're a son of an admin. And of course, all 26 questions have an average of around 4 parts. Of course! Of course they do. Because, you know, you got... They gotta, like, make you be like, oh, there's only 26 questions, it'll be fine. And little do you realize, you know, it's 4 to 7 times more, more than that. I do not miss having to do that kind of bullshit, honestly. But yeah, so, for those of you who are around in the Discord and or pay attention to Discord or my Blue Sky, I was at a convention last week. I was at Magfest, which is I've been to several different conventions in my time, right? Across a few different states at this point. Magfest is by far my favorite one that I've attended. It is a great time every time. I have a new phone finally, and I keep forgetting my regular emotes reset every time you log into Twitch. Yeah, they do, and it's really annoying. Physics is the worst class I have. I can believe that. Physics and organic chemistry are the things nightmares are made of. But yeah, no, I had such a blast with Magfest. So for those of you who don't know what Magfest is, right? Because I know like some of y'all are not from the States, or maybe from like, you know, a place where like Magfest doesn't have a branch. It is the Music and Gaming Fest. It is a convention that is really heavily focused on gaming, and particularly indie games and music. So you get a lot of musical guests there that are heavy into either making game music themselves or heavy into the like nerdcore scenes and the like. I don't have to take organic chemistry, thankfully. Yeah, you don't wanna. You don't wanna. It's not a good time. My roommate, who is a literal fucking scientist, hated organic chemistry. Like that should tell you something. Physics was one of my top subjects in school. You know what? Honestly, good for you. I cannot stand that shit. I cannot stand the math that is involved in physics. More power to you if you can actually understand that shit, frankly. Um, but yeah, so like one of the big features of Magfest is they have this massive, and when I say massive, I mean massive, free play arcade that they have that is like they have a lot of machines that are brought in by people who like collect and maintain old arcade cabinets, and they include like a lot of newer ones too, or things that you can't really find in the US. They have a lot of like rhythm game stuff that you can't really find. um they have like really really old like fighting game machines and racing machines. A lot of like really kind of weird shit from Japan. Um and I spent a decent amount of time in the arcade, right? Because like it's one of the big things there and it's free play. So like you're wasting money if you're not like going and playing at least a little bit while you're at the con, right? So I tried out this really kind of cute Japanese arcade game. I wish I got a picture. I wish I had thought to get a picture of it. But it's this little racing game, and you play a cutesy little character, and you're on a scooter. And I don't mean like an electric scooter. I mean one of those like push scooters that we like all had as kids or wanted to have as kids, right? Um, so you're literally riding around on a scooter. The controls for steering are your handlebar, are like actual scooter handlebars. Yeah, the Shin Destroyer. Exactly, exactly. So you've got your scooter handlebars that you have to hold on to with a button in the middle to use items because it's a kart racer. It's a kart racer but scooters, right? So you've got items that you can use, and the way that you go faster, because like I said, it's not an electric scooter. Yeah, it's like a razor scooter, exactly. Um, you you had to hit a little lever that was at the back of the scooter with your foot. So you'd stand on it with one foot on the actual scooter, one on the back wheel where like the brake would normally be on one of those scooters. And you would have to pump that with your foot in order to gain speed, because if you stop for too long, like you can coast for a few seconds, but if you stop for too long, your speed starts dropping. So you'd have to be like pumping that back lever the entire time that you're going, while trying to drive, while, paying attention to items and trying to figure out what the fuck they do, because everything's in Japanese. It was actually a really fun time. I had a lot of fun with it. At the very least, like the since the scooter was like the controller, it is a fixed like that. You're not going to destroy your shins or your ankles with that. Um but it was definitely an interesting time to play. Um I can hear the ankle cracking. Yeah. Yeah. It was real good though. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I got to play a little red panda character. And of course I dominated. I came in first because I am good at racing games when I'm not having to go against other people. I'll beat the computer. And I won't beat other people. Too many tryhards. Hmm. I had a scooter that sparked on purpose. When you brakes, it had a spark brick. Oh, that's awesome. I love that. Hell yeah. Um, and I also got to play an Initial D racing game. Uh, the the older like racing anime with all the Eurobeat in it. I got to play one of their arcade machines. And I what was even better is they had a spot for actually like shifting gears, but some of the cars that were available in it were automatic transitions, transmissions. So I didn't have to worry about shifting gears because I don't know how to drive a manual. The game is kind and does not make
Gas,
you have
gas,
to
gas,
drive a
I got to
manual.
step on the gas. Tonight.
Exactly, exactly. But tryhards love hearing people get confident. They really do. And you know what? That's why I say straight up, like, I'm good at racing games if I'm not against another person, because the tryhards do be out there. Um, but yeah, no, it was so good. It was so good. I actually did really well at that. It had a story mode in it. Um, so you could like just do regular racing, like you could choose to race against people who were in the connected machines. Um, but I didn't do that because uh every like the other two people in the connected machines were also doing story mode, so I was just like, all right, cool. I guess I will also do story because I'm not going to be able to race against anybody. Um and there was like actual story missions with like dialogue and everything. I could barely understand it. My Japanese is not very good yet. I'm still learning. I was able to pick up bits and pieces, but not that much. All I knew was I had to tail like this one specific car. I had to stay within like a specific distance of it. Um and then I managed to go so fast at the end of it that I actually got ahead of it, and I was very proud of myself for that. Because it seemed like the machine did not expect you to do that. Oh, I need to turn off the 2D eat because that is only for the 2D model. Next time I'll hop on the other one so you have someone to beat. I suck at racing games. Hey, you coming to Magfest next year? Because you coming to Magfest next year, fucking bet. Ah! Thank you for the nuggies. Let's make sure the correct things are on. I am scuffed today. I completely forgot to turn on the other redeems for like the 3D model. Actually no. We'll let you censor me. I'm not letting you compress me right now. You can compress me next time. There we go. And the only reason why I'm not letting you compress me is because I've tested it in this scene setup, and I will clip through the camera. And I don't want to deal with Twitch and me clipping through the camera, frankly. That does not sound like a great time. There we go. Yay, scuff indeed. But yeah, so uh Lilith doesn't want to show us their insides. The problem is that I don't have insides. This is a hollow shell. I'm a demon. I don't have organs unless I choose to create them within myself. It sounds like a bad time Megalovania intensifies. Indeed. But yeah, so I got to try that. I got to play a little bit of rhythm games because I do really like arcade rhythm games. I'm not great at them. Oh, I've been shaved. I've been shaved for my shame at rhythm games. I see. Uh but yeah, I got to play some and they were very fun. And speaking of rhythm games, actually, uh I tend to just attend random panels at conventions, right? If I don't have anything that I'm like super like I really want to do this thing. I need to make sure that I do this. I tend to just like fill my time with either sitting around and people watching or attending random panels until the next big thing that I really want to do comes up, right? And if, by the way, if you attend conventions, I highly recommend doing that. Just attend random panels because you never know what you're going to run into, honestly. And so one of the random panels that I did uh, is I went to one that was apparently this person's first time doing a panel, and they did a very good job for it. You could tell that they were a little bit nervous talking in front of a big crowd, but that's reasonable. Um, but they were doing an intro to arcade rhythm games because a lot of people like see these arcade rhythm games at like Round One and other places. But a lot of them are in Japanese, and or don't really explain what you need to do for them as much. Um, and they can be a little bit intimidating for people to get into. So this guy was just like, "Hey, I'll host a panel giving you some intro into like the most common cabinets you'll see around," which was really neat. And while I was waiting for this panel to open up, I was sitting on the floor, like outside of it, um, and I got to strike up a conversation with this one girl who was very new to video games. And when I say very new to video games, I mean she found the Nintendo Switch intimidating. Like, had an extremely sheltered childhood, I found out through talking with her. Like, was not allowed to play games, was not allowed to really consume, like, most media. Um, and, so I got to chatting with her a bit. And she was just like, yeah, I kind of figured that this might be a nice, like, way to kind of ease myself into some new things, because the one video game that she did remember like really playing with her cousins was Guitar Hero. So like rhythm games seemed like an easy, easier jumping off point. I was just like, yeah, actually that's a really smart idea, especially because a lot of rhythm games, like with the free play ones in the arcade, like you can just fuck around with them. You can fuck around and find out, and it's a great time because you don't gotta worry about spending money on it. Um, but yeah, so I talked with her while we were in the line. Ended up going into the panel and sitting in two different places because she decided to sit more towards like the middle back of the room. I went towards the front. Because I do like sitting towards the front when I can, because I do like being able to chat with the panelists when given the opportunity. Um, and after the panel was over, I actually managed to catch her again coming out of the room. And I was like, "Hey, you know what? I actually have my Nintendo Switch on me. I have multiplayer games on me. Would you like to sit down and play a multiplayer game with me?" Because I think like just getting something into your hands and playing it will help like ease some of the intimidation factor. And she was just like, "Actually, yeah, that sounds like a great idea." So I had brought my Nintendo Switch 2 with me, because sometimes when you're people watching, it's nice to have something in your hands to mess around with, right? Or something to play when you're sitting in line between panels. Um, so like we go to this little alcove. If you've ever been to like the Gaylord Hotel for like any of the conventions that are there for like Magfest or Katsucon or anything, there's these little like alcoves that overlook the big atrium area. So we went to one of these because they've always got comfy seats and everything and little tables at them. Sat down and I brought up Mario Kart World because that like Mario Kart World is an easy enough game to like pick up and play, right? You've got your joystick, you've got the acceleration button, you got the button that uses items. You don't really got to worry about much else. Like if you're playing as a brand new player. Like yeah, sure you can get into drifting and everything, but That's a bit much for somebody who is literally brand new to video games. I always forget that's the name of the hotel. Yeah, the Gaylord. Um, so yeah, I pop off one of the Joy-Cons and it was just like, here, this is how you hold it. This is what you gotta do. You know, these are your buttons. And then I can't believe you didn't throw them at Sans and said, have fun. We're getting there. But yeah, so I basically like handed her a Joy-Con, went, okay, here's what we're going to do. You know, I taught her the buttons, and then I went into the Grand Prix, and what do you mean getting there? Don't worry about it. um Set her up into the Grand Prix, and I did it at 50cc. I literally put her at the easiest like difficulty possible. And went, pick any character. They technically have stats associated with them. Don't worry about that. Just pick whoever you want to play. And she ended up picking Princess Peach and putting her in a cart, and and like we literally off to the races. So I gave her a couple of tips while we were playing the game. Because as we were talking, I found out she had also briefly at some point had a Nintendo Wii and had actually played Mario Kart Wii at one point. So it's just like, oh, cool, you actually have a better jumping off point for this. So I started helping her be like, hey, you remember shaking the Wiimote, like when you jump off of things? And she's just like, oh yeah, right, yeah, that was a thing. I'm just like, yeah, press this button when you go into the air, and you'll do a little trick and get a boost, just like in Mario Kart Wii. And she was so excited about it. Like it was really sweet and cute. How excited she got about it. And as we were playing, she mentioned that because she was just now like really being able to get out and like dive into video games and media and everything that she wasn't able to as a kid, she had an issue with over consuming them. Like she had picked up Minecraft recently, and her first time playing Minecraft, she played it for 16 hours straight. Which is great. I get that. I think every single one of us has been there at some point or another, whether with Minecraft or a different game. And I was like, yeah, I can see that. Because if you're not exposed to this shit as a kid, you don't know how to regulate yourself with it, right? You don't know how to tell yourself like when enough is enough. Like that is actually a skill that you develop in childhood, and it can be really hard to develop as an adult. Well, let me go get my Switch and check my most played game. I definitely did that when I could finally play video games. Exactly. Normal Minecraft hours when Crystal Yogi is in the Nether. Indeed. So it's just like cool. So I in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, I need to recommend games to her that are going to be like segmented, right? I know what my most played Switch game is off the top of my head. Is it Monster Hunter? So yeah, in the back of my head, I'm like, all right, I need to suggest some games that are segmented, like things that you can be like, all right, I'm going to do this, unit of a game, and then I can put it down and come back to it later. Because that's going to be easier to build up that skill with, right? We were too poor for games when I was a kid. Yeah, I definitely get that. It is indeed Rise with about 1,200 hours. Yeah, I know you at this point. So after we finish racing, and she's just like, oh yeah, that was a great time. I find out that she actually had a Nintendo Switch gifted to her. I assume probably by like a family member. I didn't ask. But that she had one gifted to her, and she had been so intimidated by it that she hadn't even opened it yet. Like she was genuinely so intimidated by the thought of like getting embroiled in things and not knowing what to do. She had not even opened the console yet. So I gave her a tour of the Switch 2 and was just like, yeah, this is the sort of stuff you'll see on the console. There's the eShop. I can't open that for you because I can't connect to the hotel Wi-Fi. But, there's an eShop and stuff. Like, it's actually a fairly, like, easy experience to deal with. And I showed her a few other games on the Switch that weren't multiplayer, but were just like hey, these are games that are a little bit segmented, and they're in different genres of game. So you have a chance to actually play around and see what you like figure out what genres of game you actually like. I also recommended going to the free arcade because then you could just fuck with shit and find out if you like it or not. Sky Children of Light has 205 or more hours. Animal Crossing has 75. And YouTube has 3,365 hours. Goddamn. Want to know what is the most bullshit moment in Nintendo Switch history? Twitch got taken off the eShop. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. Honestly, I don't even pay attention to what's in the eShop on the Switch. I use my Switch for games, not for the other applications, honestly. Alright, work call, see you later. Understandable, have fun with work, Milo. But yeah, so I ended up recommending her the Mega Man X Legacy Collection, because that just comes in a series of levels, right? And frankly, it's not too difficult of a game for somebody to, like, get into. Like, you can... Mega Man X kind of eases you into stuff. And then it gets, like, harder and harder as you go. So it's just like, yeah, this is, a combination of, like, a little bit of a shooter game and a platformer. You can, you can mess around with that. This is really great. And this Legacy Collection that I have on my Switch gets you, multiple games. So you get a lot of bang for your buck if you buy this one. And then I recommended a couple of other things, and I also ended up recommending her Deltarune. Because Deltarune is a really unique game that's really heavy on the story and is just genuinely a really great time. So it's just like, yeah, try this game. It comes in chapters, and there's 4 out right now. And they're a little bit longer. Yes, your old self was called. It's just like, yeah, they're a little bit longer. So, if you want to spend, like, several hours sitting down and playing something, like, this is a great opportunity. The game, like, really eases you into its difficulty, which it does. Deltarune has a few difficulty jumps, but they're difficulty jumps that they've already given you all the tools to understand, right? Like, you're not gonna just suddenly get smacked out of nowhere and have no idea what happened. So yeah, she ended up actually writing down all the different recommendations that I gave her in her phone, and it was really nice. And then she scurried off to go do other things in the con. And I was very happy. I was very proud that I got to help somebody. And then the other, and to be fair, like, that's not an uncommon experience at Magfest, by the way. Like, the community around Magfest in general is really sweet and kind. Because we're all fucking nerds who are all there because we love video games and music. Like, we're all there for the express purpose of celebrating video games. And, like, if you actually go and, like, strike up conversation with most people, most of the time you're gonna end up having, like, at least an interesting conversation. And then, God, they had so many concerts running too. I ended up missing one that I really wanted to go to, and I'm sad about it. Which was Crush 40, was actually at Magfest this year. Crush 40 being the people who made a lot of the older Sonic music, like from like the Genesis era on up. Yeah, no, like if you know like Live and Learn and everything like that, that's all Crush 40. Um and they had a concert this year and I missed it and I'm still really salty about it, but it's fine. Because I got to do a thing that made other people jealous, which was, for those of you who know who the Proto Men are, I got to go to the live Act 3 debut, which was an amazing time. Um so I got to do that. God, that was such a good concert too. I had no idea what was going on. um because my roommate's big into the Proto Men. Um I had never actually heard any of their stuff before. So this was actually my first exposure to the Proto Men. And honestly, what an exposure it was. It actually makes me want to go and like listen to the rest of their stuff, and I will be doing it at some point. Get like don't don't get me wrong. I will be going and listening to the rest of their music. But it was a phenomenal show. Uh and God, like synthy rock opera stuff is so very much up my alley. And for those of you who don't know what the Proto Men are, which I didn't until having a lot of it explained to me. They are a group that takes the story of Mega Man and turned it into a rock opera. It is really fucking good. It is really fucking dark. Um, I very much loved it. Oh my god, I loved it. Their stage presence is great too. And they actually played all three acts over the course of um Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Um, I unfortunately was not able to attend acts 1 or 2, or 2 or 1 because they played them in chronological order. So Act 2 actually comes before Act 1, but that's besides the point. Um, I only got to go to Act 3, but that's fine. That's fine with me. Uh, I did get to watch. I did get to go to the Ruby concert. So those of you who know Ruby, that used to be like a part of Rooster Teeth and everything, I got to go to their concert that they were playing live, which was a lot of fun. I got to see the Megas live again, which is always great. I love the Megas. They also do Mega Man music. And apparently have another group called the Belmonts, where they do Castlevania music. And they ended up playing one of their Castlevania tunes while I was there, which was great. And we also had Bit Brigade out, which, if you're not familiar with Bit Brigade, they're probably one of my favorite, like, kind of more gimmicky bands. Because what they do... Thank you for the hydrate. Hold on. There we go. So yeah, what Bit Brigade does is they will live play music for games as somebody's on the stage speed running a game. They will live play the music for it. The first time that I saw them, they did a live speed run of the first Castlevania game, which was very fun. But did they punch Dracula in the face? Can't be a Belmont if you don't do that, I think. I mean, I didn't see it personally, but I believe them if they say they did. um, and then this year, because Magfest was Mega Man themed this year, they did a live speedrun of Mega Man X. Which was very fun. The speedrunner ended up going in upgrades order. And I have video from it. I'll post it in the Discord later. I have video of them going through like the first stage and then transitioning into the menu theme and then the entirety of Storm Eagle's stage as well. For anybody who's like never seen them before, it's so fun. Um and yeah. If you I highly recommend looking up Bit Brigade. They are a great time every time I've seen them. Um and of course there were so many other shows going on through the entirety of the weekend, like far more than I could list. I know like Silva Gunner had a DJ set that was super late that I would have gone to if I hadn't had to drive back to my apartment. Because I we I'm local to the convention, right? Um so I only have like we only have to drive like 40 minutes roughly to get to the convention center. So we don't usually like bother with the hotel stuff because it's expensive when we live right fucking there. But that does mean that we end up not being able to do a lot of the like super late night stuff. Which is kind of sad because oh, do I love convention raves. They're so much fun. But yeah. So we had Silva Gunner and everything. Um which by the way, so the Gaylord Hotel has this rooftop venue, right? They have this rooftop club. And apparently it had to get shut down twice over the course of the weekend. Apparently one of the times was because somebody just flat out dropped a deuce on the dance floor. I was not there for that. I got to hear about it the next day. But yeah, that's a thing that happened. um they weren't ready for that dance move. No, no. Please do not pull out that dance move at your local rave. That is a biohazard. Hmm. Yeah. One minute. Please do not the deuce on the dance floor. Some of the convention goers are just flat out biohazards. True, but at least Magfest is usually pretty good about that. Like I'm pretty sure they have enforcement for making you go shower if you stank. Millennials have heard of blood on the dance floor. Get ready for the sequel. No! Don't encourage that. um yeah, it's always great seeing like what sort of panels you'll come across. I also came across what was a another first time panel, which was folks basically being like, "Hey, you know Final Fantasy has a card game? Y'all want to learn how to play the Final Fantasy card game and join our little group that plays the Final Fantasy card game?" And I was like, "Fuck yeah. I love Final Fantasy. I'd love to hear about this card game." And I actually have a pack of cards. Like they actually gave us a pack of cards um to encourage us to play said Final Fantasy card game. Um it's really interesting too because the back of the cards is actually like textured. And I've never come across like card game cards that have a textured back to them. So that's fascinating. So I have a small little pack of cards from that. Um, should have pulled up with my Shadowbringers starter pack. Indeed. Did you take my binary code nachos? No. I can't eat normal food. I eat souls. You might need to bother Ensand if food has gone missing, frankly. Um but yeah, so that was a fun time. I unfortunately ended up almost falling asleep during that panel, so I don't remember much of it. Not because of the panelist's fault, but just because I was fucking EP. um there was also a massive free play tabletop hall. So there was a whole bunch of stuff for like just renting out random like just random board games and being able to play them in the hall with your friends. So if you like wanted to try out a particular board game, there was a decent chance that they had it there and you could play it. Um and they had like all sorts of teaching events for like teaching various things. There was one group teaching people how to play Riichi Mahjong, which unfortunately I didn't get to attend. I wanted to, because I have some friends that I also play Blood on the Clock Tower with, who have been bothering me to play Mahjong like every week. But unfortunately, I was not able to attend the how to play because it just filled up way too fast. Speaking of filling up way too fast, actually, so there was a lot of really cool maker spaces this year, right? Because it's a nerdy convention, which also means cosplayers, which also means just people wanting to make shit. And you'll always have people like hosting panels on how to make a whole bunch of shit, whether it's just learn how to crochet, learn how to sew, learn how to work with fucking chainmail. And these are another thing that I really enjoy doing, because I personally really like making things and having greeblies to take home with me. I couldn't get into a single one of them this year, and I'm really kind of salty about it. Because they filled up fucking instantly. Because the way that they handle it, and the way they do handle it well, right? Like, I have no issue with the way that they handle the signups for the thing. It's just that Magfest is a fucking massive convention. Because the way they do it is you have to sign up through this app called Guidebook, which if you've been to conventions before, like, this is a fairly well used app. And it like allows you to have the map of your convention space, the schedule of events going on, people like able to pick out which events that they want to go to and like build their own schedule within it. It's a great thing. And you have to sign up for these maker spaces 3 hours before they start in the Guidebook app. And oh my god, those bitches filled up instantly. Like, I was sitting there a couple of times in panels, like sitting there refreshing my phone, waiting for the sign up to become available. And then by the time it's become available, it's already fucking filled. Literally within 30 fucking seconds. Ah! Now, mind you, they do at least have a wait list available. Like, if you're going to, like, if something like that happens, you know, you can just, like, start lining up outside the makerspace about an hour before... Oh, goodness. About an hour before the actual event starts. Because just because somebody signed up for it does not necessarily mean that they are actually going to attend, right? Especially because a lot of the time, these maker spaces cost money for materials. Because you're leaving with a greebly. Like, they have to have some money to buy the materials that you're just going to fucking leave with, right? So you'll have people who don't read the fucking thing and don't realize that it costs $30 to make the scale mail gauntlet, and they don't have $30, so they can't attend the thing. And so thus, you know, with the wait list, you're able to get in if and when that happens, because that inevitably happens, right? But oh my god, people started queuing up for so many of them so early. It was just like, I'm not waiting in a lot of those lines. Absolutely not. So I ended up not being able to do any of them. Only 30? Yeah. The reason for that is that a lot of them will use rings that they either got for free, or they'll be using rings that they bought for one project or another and ended up not working out, or rings that were mistakes. Like, I used to attend these events by this one company called Steampunk Garage, who would also teach you how to do stuff with chainmail and scale and stuff. And they specifically used rings that they could not use for other projects, whether because they bought them for a separate project and it ended up not working out, or the company that they bought from sent them the wrong product, but they still had to make use of it. So it was just like scrap stuff. And I assume that that's probably what was going on with like the various chainmail building stuff, right? But yeah, I'm still sad that I didn't get a chance to attend those. Um, but you know, I did get to go attend concerts in the meanwhile, and I also got to go into the dealer hall, which was a great time. Because the dealer hall is fucking huge. And they have a lot of fucking people there. They had my favorite vendor there again this year, and I was really happy to see him. But they have a lot of vendors who are there. And a lot of them will run like sticker or stamp rallies too, which is really great. And if you've never encountered a sticker or stamp rally at a convention before, what they are is they'll give you a little card if you like go to one of the booths like participating in it. They'll give you a little card, and when you make a purchase above a certain amount, most of the ones I've seen have been between like $15 to $25. Like they don't make them too high because you want people to do the rally. The point is to bring more traffic to like the participating booths, right? So you don't want people to be charged like too much. But if you spend a designated amount at the participating booths, obviously you'll get whatever merch you bought from that booth. But once you complete the rally, you'll actually get a little goodie bag, which will also have stuff, usually an item from each of the different participating booths. So it really incentivizes you to actually go and do the full rally. It's a really cool idea. I never do them, but I do think it's a really cool idea. The only reason why I don't do them all that often is because I'm very picky with what booths I end up buying from, and with what items I get. And half the time, like, I don't find stuff that I want in like the booths involved in the rally. So it's just like, but that's cool. I'm so fucking glad it works for y'all. Unfortunately, I will not be a participant. But you go, person. Glad you had a good time. I had a phenomenal time. It was so much fun. Um but yeah, so my favorite fucking vendor was there. And this vendor is a guy that I've seen a couple of times. And his name is Cody Kuhn, and he makes these really, really fucking cool enamel pins. Like they are super detailed. They're usually like very much more on the like gothy side of things. Um, and they have like a lot of like insect stuff and everything. It's really good. He also made a beautiful tarot deck, which I also have. I have it sitting on top of my computer, on top of my small tower of various tarot decks I've acquired and kept in here. For those of you who don't know, I collect tarot decks. It is a hobby of mine. I fucking love tarot. Um, but yeah, so he has a tarot deck that I have. I have so many fucking pins from him. This year, my roommate bought a regular purity seal from him, like a Warhammer 40K Adeptus Mechanicus purity seal, and I bought a heretical one. I bought a heretical purity seal, and it's on my computer. I literally pinned it into the grate of my computer, where the like the grate that covers where the power supply is stored. I pinned it in there because one of my really great friends, Pepperoni Shan, is turbo fucking haunted. Like her computer is so fucking their computer is so fucking haunted, and their hauntedness like can infect other people. Like it has infected Drider Lily's computer, and I'm so worried about it infecting mine because I help them a lot with their tech support, and I deal with so much bullshit otherwise with my computer that I don't want to take any chances. So I got a heretical purity seal because I'm a demon and it's the most appropriate and it's pinned to my computer, so their haunted bullshit cannot affect me. It's so good. I love it. Fuck haunted bullshit. Exactly. Oh my god. Yeah, like I have no idea what the fuck is wrong with their with their Unity or their OBS or anything, but shit will just randomly break in ways that do not make any fucking sense. That whole ass often require full installs of things or the most bizarre workarounds. Like, it's so fucking funny too, because I've helped them with a lot of projects in Unity, and it has gotten to the point sometimes where I've had to have them go actually like export their shit from Unity and send it to me so I can test it in my Unity to see if it's actually fucking broken or if their Unity is just being fucking haunted. Most of the time, it's their Unity being haunted. And like I said, it's infected other people. So I know for the fact that it's communicable, and I don't want no part of it. So we have a purity seal to just nip that shit in the bud. Ah. So I'm hearing is Pepperoni Chan is dealing with a software demon? No, the demon is trying to help them. Unfortunately, I think we need to call the church. um Oh my god. But yeah, no, I highly recommend looking up this guy's stuff. It's so good. He is genuinely my favorite vendor. He's also nice to talk to. He's just like a nice dude. Um Don't spend more in favor of calling the church. Sometimes you gotta, man. Sometimes you gotta call in like the actual exorcists. Calling Windows Defender ain't helping. Oh, trust me, it's not helping. So, also, those of you in chat, who in chat knows, Nightmare Cart / Bloodborne Cart? Because this is important. Now from Windows Defender, hell no, again possessed. I have heard of it. Okay. I know Yogi knows Nightmare Cart because they were following Bloodborne Cart before the cease and desist from Sony happened. So, yeah, Bunlith is so fucking cool. Did you get a chance to play it? I did. I found the arcade machine. So, Nightmare Cart had actually had a single arcade machine made for it. And it's been touring around in places, and it was at Magfest this year. And Bunlith herself was also at Magfest. So I got to play the Nightmare Cart arcade machine. I even got to set a high score on it that lasted the rest of the weekend, and I'm real fucking proud of that because I still have not actually played Nightmare Cart. I played it on the arcade machine for the first fucking time. I have Nightmare Cart. It's on my Steam. I even have it installed. I just never fucking opened it. And part of the reason for that is I kind of have it like in my list as like a potential filler game. So it's something I want to do on stream, but it's something I want to do on stream when I don't have anything else like planned. So I haven't actually opened it yet because after I decided to add it as a filler game, I got hooked on Vintage Story, which has just taken all of my filler slots since. So I got to play it for the first time on the arcade machine. And it was a real good time. Actually, if you get a chance to play it at a convention, fucking do it. It is like the actual arcade machine is really satisfying to play. And so yeah, that was great. And I actually got a chance to meet Bunlith. I didn't get a chance to really talk to her. But I posted this on my Blue Sky. I actually managed to catch her while we were both running between panels. Like, I passed her in the hallway, managed to get a photo real quick, told her that she was awesome, and then we both continued running in our opposite directions. But yeah, I got to meet her, and that was really fucking cool. She is a very cool person. Very cool person. Um I wish I had a chance to talk to her more, but unfortunately for the entire rest of the convention, I did not manage to come across her again. But you know, that's just how it is with conventions, right? Because apparently, also Jesse Cox was running around, as was Chugga Conroy. I didn't see either of them. Um, I know that Chugga Conroy was at the fucking Proto Man Act 3 debut, at the complete opposite side of the fucking venue from me, based on the picture he posted. My roommate saw Jesse Cox at one point while he was in line. I think for one of the Proto Men concerts. Like, you never know who you're gonna fucking just randomly run into, and it's great. Fuck Sony sitting on Bloodborne and not doing anything with it. Yeah, I've seen a lot of sentiment recently of saying that if a company does not do something with an IP within like a certain amount of time, that IP should just like be released for people to make fan works off of. Like, obviously not being able to claim like you know, this is an official thing, but be able to make fan works off of and not have like the company have grounds to like issue a cease and desist or sue them, right? And honestly, I'm kind of in favor of it because so many things just end up getting fucking abandoned. And then just the company just sitting there and being like, haha, you want to do something with this? Go fuck yourself. Fuck you if we, you know, if we're not doing anything with it, you're not allowed either. Like, really? Really? Fuck you. Yeah. Oh my god, EA especially with their habit of like acquiring studios and then shutting them down and then retaining the IP rights. Like, glares at Nintendo. Nintendo's better about it than most, honestly. Most of the time, I do emphasize most, but most of the time they allow for fan works as long as you're not making money off of it. The only time that they've really had the only time they've really gone after projects is if they themselves were about to release something related to it, such as the stuff related to AM2R, and then the Metroid 2 remaster that they then released not that long afterwards. Like, for the most part, they kind of leave fan works alone, and I feel like a lot of people get like really angry at them about some of the other lawsuit shit that they do, and then, which, fair and valid, but then also like treat them like they're also the ones who like go after fan works, which is usually not the case. It's bullshit that they can brick your Switch too if you even jailbreak it one singular time for testing. Thing is that that's always been a thing. Any console can be bricked if you mod them. Um Also, in general, the thing that people were passing around being like, oh, you know, there's a thing in there that detects, like, if your Switch has been modified and it'll break it, blah, 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 blah. That's not true. Like, that whole ass, that's not true. We have modified Switch 2s. It's not widely available like modding for the Switch 1 is yet. It'll happen, but it's not widely available yet because I don't think we have full kernel access to it. I believe like they haven't reverse engineered like a lot of shit in it yet. But yeah, a lot of the stuff that's been going around about Switch 2 modding and like fear mongering about it is just whole ass not true. Um people want older games that aren't in the official Nintendo Online stuff. That's why modding is done. Yeah, absolutely. And like I said, the stuff that people have been going around like fear mongering about the about jailbreaking your Switch 2 is not true. Like fully untrue. Um and I say this as somebody with multiple Switches who is also like active in the modding scene, right? Like they're people have modded the Switch too. It's fine, I promise. um but yeah. Um Either way though. It is yeah, if you I highly recommend Magfest, honestly. Like if you are ever in a position to be able to travel for a convention, because I know most people aren't anywhere near up here, but if you are in a position to be able to travel for a convention and want a good one to attend, Magfest is genuinely such a fucking good time. It is it has the most positive atmosphere of any convention that I've ever been to. It has the coolest fucking people at it. You get to see amazing cosplayers. You get to see amazing pop-up concerts. That's something I haven't talked about yet. Holy shit. There's pop-up concerts that happen at Magfest. And by pop-up concerts, I mean you can watch, like, there will be times where you can watch an entire fucking orchestra just pop up in the atrium by the fucking fountain and sit there and listen to them play Zelda music for like 30 to 40 minutes. There'll be people who will just carry around instruments and, you know, will set up somewhere and just start playing music. There'll be like random DJ sets. There's multiple stages and venues that exist, including one that is just down one of the main hallways. Like it is a whole ass stage that is just at a dead end in a hallway, so you can hear what's playing from it throughout like the entire floor. Like, oh my god, there's so much music going on all the time. um and there are so many amazing cosplayers and everything around too. Like no matter like you'll basically like just turn a corner or just go hang out in the atrium and you will see professional level cosplayers. You'll see amateur level cosplayers. You'll see baby's first like closet cosplay, you know, out there. You get just an amazing mix of people at so many different skill levels. You know, just running around and being happy and proud of the things that they're getting to represent. You'll get you know, you'll get people with like actual professional photography setups taking pictures of like so many people. Hell, I didn't cosplay this year. I don't have a sewing machine anymore. Unfortunately, I haven't had one in a few years, which is why I don't do cosplays at the moment. But I'm in real life, I'm a big fan of techwear, which is why my design is what it is, right? So I will sometimes go out to conventions in like a full like techwear outfit, and I have a full like face covering mask that has like lights in embedded into it. Like it has a whole LED strip that I can actually program to say different things, or make faces, which is usually what I do. And even just like running around in my techwear fit with my helmet on, like I had people constantly coming up and like giving compliments, and I had a couple people even ask to take photos of me. It was like I wasn't even fucking cosplaying. It was great. Although speaking of, I have a goal for next year. And my goal for next year is to be able to cosplay myself. I want to be able to do a decent cosplay of myself, probably without the jacket. I don't even want to think of how much of a pain in the ass trying to recreate this thing in person would be. But I want to cosplay myself and hand out badge ribbons. Which for those of you who don't really do conventions and aren't familiar with that, badge ribbons are a massive thing with a lot of conventions, Magfest especially. Um, where there are these little ribbons that are adhesive along one edge, and you literally stick them to your badge or to other ribbons that you have already attached to your badge. And a lot of people make a point of seeing how many that they can collect. You'll often see vendors like selling them. Lots of people will just hand them out. For those of you who are familiar with Uma Musume, I was taking pictures of any Uma Musume cosplayer that I could find for my buddy Sal, who is super obsessed and into Uma Musume. So I was taking pictures for them because they didn't have a chance to come with. They live on the other side of the fucking country, right? Though I am trying to bully them to come up for next year. But I was taking pictures for them, and a TM Opera O cosplayer, who looked phenomenal, by the way, was just like, hey, here, for taking pictures, have 2 badge ribbons from me. Which they had one, which said, this dance is for Vittoria, which I believe is the name of TM Opera O's unique skill in the game. And the other ribbon that they gave me said, I won the Ura finale and all I got was this ribbon. Which is really kind of funny. You can also get them from visiting like people in the indie arcade. Because they had a whole bunch of people who, and this is true of every year, but they had a whole bunch of people who were there to either demo or advertise their indie games next to the dealer's hall. Which, by the way, is also where the Nightmare Cart arcade machine was in the very back of that hall. But one of the games that I got to play, which was called Icarus, which, by the way, actually, I highly recommend. I did get to play it. I got to play it for a while. Very satisfying. Like hack and slash roguelike game. Very good. 10 out of 10. Very deeply enjoyed. But after I sat there and like played the demo for a while and talked with the developer for it, they gave me a badge ribbon. So you can even get them for just fucking around in the indie hall and just playing demos. Rabbit and Steel was there, which I've played on stream before, but if you weren't around for that, it's a raiding roguelike. So it takes like raid mechanics from like Final Fantasy 14, but translates it into a 2-dimensional field and adds roguelike elements to it. So you can get like upgrades that are randomized from run to run. And they have this big update that's going to come out soon. So they were giving like an early sneak peek of the update at Magfest this year. In fact, I actually think I got to see one of the new bosses while I was going by. So that was fun. Unfortunately, I did not have a great experience with the person running the booth when I came by. Which I don't think was the developer. I think it was, I genuinely think it might have just been like one of the people running the booth. But the guy running the booth like spent a while like animatedly talking with like a couple of guys who came up and then like basically tried to ignore me. Which was just like, all right, cool, that's fucking rude, whatever. But again, I do think that was just somebody who was manning the booth. But the game itself, great game, highly recommend. Especially if you like Final Fantasy 14. If you like Final Fantasy 14 and struggle with like reading raid mechanics, try Rabbit and Steel. It'll actually help. I also got to play a demo of Sushi Ben, which I don't know about you guys, but I've had that thing all over my TikTok feed. Which it's this little game involving like keeping a sushi restaurant alive. If you've seen the videos of a kind of scary looking business lady who just walks on like suited men, like who just all look the same, but will like run up and like prevent her from ever touching the ground, sort of deal. If you've seen that, that's Sushi Ben. I got to play a little bit of that. That was fun. Um, I've had that one wishlisted for ages and ages and followed development. Yeah, they gave me a massive sticker for playing the demo. The guy running that was also very nice. I had a great time talking to him. I also got to try on a Quest 3 Pro for the first time because that was what they had for the VR version of the demo. So they had it on VR on desktop and for Steam Deck. So you got to play whatever way you felt most comfortable with. And I like VR, so I tried the headset. um, then I also got to play a demo of the Magus Circle, which is think of like Vampire Survivors, like the Survivors type game. Um, but you have to manually draw like spell sigils in order to do your attacks, and they'll last for a certain length of time. Um, and I had a lot of fun with that. I kept accidentally drawing one of the spell sigils sideways. I don't know why. My brain just decided that no. In fact, this is the direction it should be drawn in, not in the way that the game wanted me to draw it in. And apparently that was a common problem when I talked to the lady running the booth. Um, but I really had fun with that one. That was a great time. They gave me a sticker too. They gave me a little sticker. Uh I'm definitely looking forward to playing that one at some point. However, I'm gonna play that shit on my tablet, like my drawing tablet, if I ever stream that. I'm not playing that with mouse and keyboard. Well, I have to play it with keyboard, but I'm not playing that with a mouse. I'm gonna play that with my drawing pencil. That's gonna make that so much easier. um, but yeah, no, like I had fun with it. It's also got some story elements to it too, of course. Let's see. God, there was so much in there. I think that's all I ended up playing. Um, but they had some other games there, like of the Devil and everything. But those booths were like always swarmed, so I didn't get a chance to really like sit down and actually play any of them. That sounds like hell on a mouse. It's actually not too bad. The symbols themselves, they have a loose enough detection that drawing it with a mouse actually works just fine. However, I have a drawing tablet and I'm going to make use of it, god damn it. um, but yeah, can definitely recommend. Uh, let's see, what else? Oh my god. Um No, I just for a lot of times, like I really did just spend like a fair amount of time just kind of hanging out in the atrium. Oh, this was another one. I came across a Haru Rara cosplayer from Uma Musume. And I struck up a conversation with her too. And it was apparently like her God, I can't remember if she said it was her first or second time ever going to Magfest. Um and we chatted a bit about Magfest in general and like Magfest's culture, other conventions and stuff. Because like I said, I've been to several at this point. Um Both like up here and down in Florida where I'm originally from. Should be a fucking surprise to nobody. uh but yeah, we chatted about that. She ended up giving me this cute little horseshoe charm bracelet for taking a picture and chatting with her for a while. Um so that was very sweet. Unfortunately, all my Uma Musume runs of the weekend were just fucking cursed. Because Goldship hates me, and the game hates me, personally. It refuses to give me a 3-star stamina spark, and I'm going to scream. Uh Um, but yeah, like it is such a fun time being able to just strike up a conversation with random people and be like, "Hey, you know, you got a cool costume," or "Hey, what do you think of XYZ thing?" and just spiraling on off from there. Um, Especially because like so many people wear like what their fandoms are, what the things that they like to do are literally on their clothes or on their bag. So you can see like who the Final Fantasy people are and such. Oh my god, I actually ended up getting quite a bit of Final Fantasy merch while I was there, including my new favorite thing, which is um a Dragoon Jobstone that has an NFC chip embedded into it. So NFC chips are the things where like you tap your phone and it does a thing. Like NFC is how like tap to pay works with your phone, right? But it can also do other things, including open up links. So now I have my Dragoon Jobstone that is just set to lead to my website. So if anybody ever wants to know who I am while I'm out in the fucking wild, I actually have something to be like, here, tap this to your phone. I'll take it to my website that I made myself that has all of, who I am and all my social links and shit on it. Now stuck with the mental image of your model with an angry face screaming at the ceiling. Ah! um yeah, it's so good. Also, inside the Gaylord, so there's this big fucking atrium, right? And there are internal balconies inside the hotel. There's a whole bunch of like balconies that overlook the atrium area. And you'll see people very frequently like do funny shit on their balconies for anybody who just happens to be looking. Um, like you'll look up at the balconies and you'll just see like one of the rooms just flashing fucking rainbow colors, like somebody's got a star on Rainbow Road, type shit. I saw at least one Hatsune Miku cut out on somebody's balcony. I saw the One Piece pirate flag that somebody hung inside their door. So many flags actually. Oh my god. There was at one point I saw somebody unfurl their badge ribbons and see how far down it went, and it went shockingly far. um yeah, you'll see people like come out onto their balconies and watch everybody like milling about in the atrium. Oh, there was one time well, I forget what exactly I was doing out there. But somebody came out on their balcony with like a breath controlled keyboard and just started playing music from it. And you could hear it like a good distance away. Like they were easily several stories up, right? And I could hear that shit clear across the atrium from them. It was great. um yeah, just being surrounded by so much just random music the entire weekend was so much fun. Um and of course it's also true like if you end up leaving the hotel too. Cuz the hotel itself is actually in one of the bougier areas cuz it's I mean obviously it's a Gaylord hotel, like they're expensive. And it's in the National Harbor. So like lots of shopping stuff out that way. Um there was actually a Build-A-Bear there. They didn't have much though, unfortunately, but I did go and take a look at what was there. Um and we ended up going to one of the restaurants in the area, which is always great too because anytime you go to one of the restaurants around the hotel, it is guaranteed to be packed full of hotel attendees. You'll see people in various states of like half cosplay because they've taken off like half of their shit so they could sit down and comfortably eat, or sometimes in full cosplay. But you'll still see just an absolute sea of badges and lanyards. And we ended up going to this one restaurant called Succotash, which was really interesting because it was traditional Southern cuisine fused with Korean, which I've never fucking seen in my life. Like they had they had a kimchi infused or not kimchi, fucking they had kimchi in several things, but what was it in the gochujang? Gochujang Bloody Mary. Like it had a rim of gochujang instead of salt for the Bloody Mary. Um Apparently it's quite good. I didn't taste it. I don't care for savory cocktails, but apparently it was quite good. Um Lots of stuff with like kimchi in it. I ended up getting a French toast platter because I am a sucker for really good French toast. Um and so it was cornmeal encrusted French toast with like fresh berries and lemon curd and stuff on it, and it was really fucking good. Um One of the people in our group got like chicken and waffles. We had somebody else get what was called the hangover special. uh yeah, it was a great time. We we actually ended up the waiter ended up loving us so much actually that they brought us free cinnamon rolls, which was really sweet because like we were nice and chatty with the waiter. Like all of us are really nice to wait staff, as you fucking should be, by the way. Be kind to your wait staff, be kind to your service sector folks. They work very fucking hard for little to no thanks. Be nice to them. But anyway, we were just being regularly nice to the server, which was very nice compared to most people because all of us are, very nice, bubbly people for the most part. And chatting up the waiter and everything. Um and as we were winding down our meal, the waiter comes up and is just like, "Hey, does anybody at your table have food allergies?" And like I only have the one. Like I'm only allergic to oranges, which usually doesn't come up. It's usually not that big of a deal. Um and he's just like, "Cool. So, y'all wait here. I got a surprise coming out for you." And we're all just like, "What do you mean? What do you mean you got a surprise for us?" So we're all looking at each other like tired and full of good food, but also excitedly because what do you mean? What do you mean we're getting a surprise? And a little bit later, the waiter comes out, like brings us fresh, like small little plates, fresh forks, and just brings over a whole ass plate of fresh cinnamon rolls, like fresh and hot, and they were so good, and they had nuts in them, and they were really fun. Oh my god, they were so tasty. For completely for free, because he liked us that much. um, that was so good, so worth waiting in the rain for actually, because it was raining during this entire day. And so we had to go out into the cold and rain to go make a reservation at this place and then go back out into the cold and rain to get back to the hotel until it was time for a reservation, and then again walk back out through the cold and the rain to get there in time for the reservation. Yeah, that made it totally worth it. It was so good. Like there are a few things better than having like nice, hot, fresh southern food when it is cold and rainy and gross outside. And then also getting free cinnamon rolls on top of it. um which is also great because that was also the only time that we ended up eating out during that weekend. Um because I taught my roommate the fun of meal prepping for a convention. Because if you're either going to be at a hotel for a convention or you're going to drive there because it's a local one, you can just bring food and leave it in your car or in your hotel room. Either or. Um, so my roommate meal prepped a shit ton of chicken Alfredo that he just had, he just kept bringing for dinner because it was cold enough outside. It was actually colder than our fridge. So like we don't have to worry about the food getting too warm. The car literally was a refrigerator, basically. Um, and like we made sandwiches and stuff, and just when it was lunchtime, we would just go back out, go to the car, grab whatever food we wanted, and either take it back to the hotel with us or eat it in the car and head back. Um, which was very nice and much cheaper than trying to eat out there. Especially because Magfest is a 4-day convention. Which just make it very fun to go through, but also chicken alfredo does slap. And in fact, we made the chicken alfredo from the Final Fantasy cookbook, the Volume 2 cookbook, and the recipe from that I've been raving about since we made it. Yeah, we made that shit. It's so good. It's so fucking good. That has become the default Alfredo recipe in the house. And especially because I make some changes to it to make it even better. Because I'm not afraid of MSG. I have a container of MSG in my pantry. It gets used. Use MSG. The shit makes your savory dishes so much fucking better. But yeah, so definitely recommend that shit. The Final Fantasy cookbooks absolutely slap. I should get that next month. Absolutely. Like, get both of them. I have made multiple recipes from the original that are mainstays, and we've only had a chance to try the chicken alfredo from the new one. But it immediately a favorite. We even just made more of the sauce last night because my roommate got braised beef ravioli from the store. And so we put that into the Alfredo sauce. And it was really good. Have the first one, need the second one. Yeah. Can confirm. Is worth it. Especially since it has turali recipes in it, so you can actually have like some good seasoned cooking. Might get me to actually get over my anxiety with cooking my own stuff. Cookbooks are really good for that, especially if they are good cookbooks. Because then all you have to do is follow the recipe as listed, and you'll at least come out with something good. And then you can learn to adjust from there. But yeah, no, it was a great time. I basically subsisted off of roast beef and cheese sandwiches for most of the weekend. Cause yeah, I love roast beef and cheese for like convention food because like if you toast the bread and then like make your sandwich, the toasted bread doesn't get like, you know how if you make like a sandwich and you don't toast the bread, the bread gets soggy and like gross after like a period of time? If you toast it first, then instead of getting soggy, it basically just feels like regular bread, but you still get all that nice like toasted flavor to it. But it doesn't feel gross to eat. It just feels like a normal sandwich. So yeah, I did that and had like roast beef and cheese sandwiches for like the weekend. Except for except for one night. I did lie. We did get food out one more time, but that was because I was really craving Wendy's. So we got Wendy's. But technically, that was on the way home from the convention, so I think that I don't think that counts. Hello, I've returned. Welcome back. But yeah, 10 out of 10. Do recommend. It was a great time. I thoroughly enjoyed every concert that I got a chance to go to. I will forever be salty that I missed Crush 40. But it's fine. Oh yeah, Rebecca Sugar was also there this year. I didn't get to go to either of her shows because they were fucking packed. But yeah, Rebecca Sugar was there, performing music too. Had to lead trivia night. Understandable. I also got to go to a panel, which was basically just an hour of some nerds playing D&D with some audience participation, which was great. And I also got to play a game which was taking like what was effectively a whole bunch of old like game show stuff and like game show games, and having people play modified versions of them that involved video games. Uh and I got to do that, and I almost did really fucking well until the working memory decided to short out, and I was just like, well, fuck. And then I lost. I lost after doing so fucking good. Ah! I tried my best, though. I tried my best, and I got 3D printed Plinko chips for it. SYO? I'm not sure what that is. Um, yeah. Yeah. Like I said, I just attend random panels. Probably meant AO. Ah, yeah, you know what? Fair. Listen, there's so many like D&D actual plays out there. I wouldn't be surprised if one of them gets abbreviated to SYO. That's why I was confused. I just picture you vibing and locked in, and then all of a sudden, all thought leaves your brain. That is exactly what happened, actually. 100%. That is exactly what happened. Unfortunately, the brain is going to brain. Yes, I meant AO. Yeah, like I said, there's so many actual plays out there, you know? At this point, it's just like, I don't know, maybe one of them is SYO. Fuck if I know. I don't fucking pay attention to this shit. uh, yeah. Honestly, eventually at some point, I would really love to host like an actual panel at one of them. I'd want there to be like more of a VTuber presence before I did, because one of the things I would actually like to host is like how to get into VTube, how to get into streaming and VTubing like for cheap. Like how to do it for a beginner, like go over customizable models, because I do really like customizable models. I think they're a great thing. But go over customizable models, go over like what options and stuff are out there, like your streaming platform choices, um, you know, your pros and cons of both, what sort of games, to like how you narrow in on what sort of games you want to do, things like that. Like that, this is something I actively want to do. But unfortunately, I don't think there's enough of a presence of people like interested in VTubers there yet. Although, I did come across another VTuber while I was there, completely by chance. Um, I've been having a real issue with stream buffering. Oh, I'm sorry. I can at least confirm it's not on my end. We solved the OBS scuff at the start of stream, but so you might need a refresh. Or your internet's just having a fit, unfortunately. But I did manage to meet another VTuber while I was in line for a thing. I forget what I was in line for. But I was sitting down in the line, and I heard two people behind me, and I heard one of them mention VTubers. And of course, immediately my ears perk up, because, VTuber talk in the wild. I found my people. I found my people within my greater subset of people. So, like, immediately, like, I'm up and just like, hi, we're talking about VTubers. And it turns out the two people who were talking, one of them was a VTuber fan, and the other one was an indie VTuber. I didn't get their name, unfortunately, because, like, their phone didn't have access to, like, a lot of their stuff. Like, it just wasn't loading. But I was able to give her mine, and I hope that she pops up at some point, because I would really like to give her a follow back. Because I fucking love, like, meeting, I love meeting other VTubers, especially ones that, like, are local, and meeting them in flesh space. Like, it's great. Um, and the thing is that I saw her Vroid model, so if she does pop up, I will be able to recognize her. Just, I need her to pop up first. Because unfortunately, I didn't get her name. But yeah, no, like, it was great getting a chance to chat with them. I did find out that this poor person was trying to use VTuber Plus for her uh her Vroid model and struggling with it, and I had to be like, "Oh, honey, please no, please switch to Wordo for your sanity. Please stop trying to use VTuber Plus and switch to Wordo. I promise you, it's so much better." Because Wordo's what I use. Wordo's what I use exclusively for my 3D model. It's good. It's what allows me to do all the fun shit, like y'all being able to make me spin and shit. It's what also allows me to do stuff like having other hidden commands. Because there is still one that y'all. There's two, actually. There's two y'all haven't found yet. But yeah, no, very much neuron activation anytime I come across VTuber chatter in the wild. You never know who you're gonna find. It could just be a VTuber fan and you get to enthuse about VTuber like shit in general. It could be another actual VTuber, right? Like it's so fun. Yes. Be gay, do crime. So yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed that. I thoroughly enjoyed getting to talk to all the people that I got a chance to talk to. I'm very much hoping that I get to actually meet up with more people next year. Um Also, if I am able to do what I want to do and like actually be able to like set up to cosplay my own VTuber, I'm going to talk about Magfest a lot more and make sure that it's like more in people's like thoughts and memories leading up to it. Um because I really want to be able to like meet up with friends and meet up with my community and stuff there. I would genuinely like enjoy getting to hang out like with people and be able to talk more about things and like actually feel like I can post it to my socials without spamming because it'll actually be relevant. I will tackle you next year. Slash J, I am small. I mean, you can try to tackle me. Good luck with that, though. If I ever hit the lottery, I'll go, yeah. I mean, with any luck, hopefully, like, shit'll get easier on you soon. Restarted my phone. Welcome back. Um. Yeah. Cause yeah, I also don't really like go to a lot of the other cons in this area, cause like, I'm also local to Otakon. I went 1 year. I did not care for it. Um, I'm actually learning I don't care for general anime conventions to begin with. Because a lot of the spark that made a lot of like anime conventions really fun when I was younger just doesn't seem to be there anymore. Like everyone's so like restrained and keeps to their own like little groups and cliques within them. And just I don't care for that, right? Like I anime should be another one of those like nerd interests where everyone like gets to get together and talk about their shit and be fucking cringe and free for a weekend. You know? It shouldn't be like this super restrained thing. I mean, obviously I don't want like a complete return to ye olde days. Oh my god, we do not need to bring back the days of the yaoi battle. Um but it would be nice to like see people actually being a bit more, unrestrained. And I think that's another reason why I like Magfest so much because it's fucking gamers. We're all fucking cringe to begin with. Like it doesn't like people feel far more free there to be like themselves and be silly and talk to people. Whereas they just kind of don't in anime cons like Otakon and when I went to Hallmat last year, like it was the same there too. I'm still getting the issue. I wonder if Twitch is just having issues. It might be. I wouldn't be surprised. I've been to one Otakon. It was stressful. Yeah. Otakon's stressful. Otakon's stressful and I don't feel like it's worth it, frankly. So I don't go there. I much prefer Magfest. It also helps that Magfest is during the colder part of the year, whereas Otakon's during fucking summer. Fuck that. have like it being actually cold makes it nice to actually run around Magfest without feeling like I'm going to fucking overheat and perish. Whereas Otakon just feels like a sweat fest. The friends I went with didn't help. Yeah, I'd imagine not. When I went, I ended up going solo, which shouldn't have been a problem. Because, like I said, one of the reasons why I like going to conventions is I like having a built-in way to actually like talk to people without feeling fucking awkward about it. Um, and just I have rarely felt so awkward in a space of people who were, supposedly a part of the same interest group as me, than I have at Otakon. Um, so yeah, no, I do not care for Otakon, but that's fine. It was 100 degrees Fahrenheit one day. I fully believe that. I fully fucking believe that. But yeah, is good shit. Uh, I think that the anime community is certainly a community. Not that other communities don't have their issues, but there's something about the anime community that, like, yeah, it makes sense that people would still want to go just to stay with their group. Yeah, I just, like I said, I do think that conventions should be like where you go to just to be fucking weird and cringe, right? And I feel like anime conventions have lost a lot of that. Probably partly because of the fact that that anime has kind of become like really mainstream in the last like for a while at least. It's hard to put like a specific amount of time to it, really. But anime has become like really mainstream, right? And I feel like that's a lot of it. You get like a lot of the normies in the crowd who don't who are like the ones always policing other people and like being like, "Oh no, you can't be cringe. Oh, it's going to go in my cringe compilation," and making other people feel like they can't like be, cringe and free in a convention space. Um as much as that really does suck. And a lot of gaming conventions are still like free of a lot of that because you just get a group of dorky people in a room together, and it's hard, like even with people like more and more people being into things like D&D. It's still, a relatively niche thing comparatively, right? Because if you're somebody who actually plays the game, um, hey, guess what? You're a fucking nerd. That's just you just kind of got to get used to it. And I feel like it also makes you more likely to be tolerant of other people being weird and nerdy, even if it's not something that you personally like, you know, you personally engage in. Um, and I don't think the anime community really has like an equivalent to that. Um, which is unfortunate. It's unfortunate for them, frankly. Um, but it is what it is, really. Hopefully, eventually, we can get away from the whole cringe culture thing. Be cringe, be free. Like, don't let anybody tell you what you should and should not enjoy. Um, Oh, I almost forgot. Another one last thing that I did get to do while I was at Magfest that I also had a lot of fun with and really missed. There were people who were hosting a Daggahir panel, which Daggahir is one of the things um that I used to do. It was one of the sword fighting things that I used to do, that I really really loved and I do really miss. Um and I got to go and beat up people with a sword and shield for a bit. I got to talk to some folks during that as well who were either new to it in general or were coming to it from the SCA, which is a very different type of beast from Daggy here. Um, and just I forgot how much I missed the sound of like foam thwacking against a human body. But yeah, uh Pet is hungry indeed. Um but yeah, I loved that. And I actually found out that the group that was hosting it is fairly local. I say fairly local cuz they're in Virginia. They're a fair bit south. And while I could take public transit to get to them, it would take 3 fucking hours. Otherwise it's like a bit of a drive down. But man, do I miss doing it. I might see about like every so often seeing if I could join a practice here and there. So they meet up on days when I don't stream anyway. So like it's not like I have to worry about like a time frame or anything. Um but yeah, man do I miss sword fighting. Imagine going to Virginia. Gross. I mean, to be fair, like I think the Gaylord itself is within Virginia. Um, but yeah. It is a great time. Let's see. I don't think she's that bad, huh? Disconnected my headphones, issue gone. Wow. Fucked up. Let's see. But I think for now, that is, unless I remember something randomly that I'll tell you about like next week, I believe that is actually all of my stories for Magfest. So I think we will go ahead and end things here. And I know exactly who we're gonna go say hello to. Because my buddy Lasso is live and he hasn't been streaming in a bit. And he's also debuting a new stream interaction that he set up. I work in Virginia, so that's a joke. Yeah, indeed. I got what you were saying. However, it is more fun for me to sometimes just not acknowledge the joke. But yeah, thank you all so very much for coming by and hanging out with me for story time, letting me yap. Um, we should be returning to a regular streaming schedule next week, which means my next streaming time will be Tuesday, 2 p.m. EST. What will we be playing? I don't fucking know. Might be Vintage Story. Might be something else. I'll figure it out when I get there. But until then, we're going to give some love to Lasso because they deserve it. They've worked very hard on their new interaction system. Deltarune will be returning on Wednesday, so it won't be on Tuesday. Because most of y'all are usually more available in the evenings. So our main games getting played are on Wednesday and Friday. But until then, please make sure that you eat something, drink something, take your meds if you need them, and I will see you all again very soon. Tomorrow, actually, we'll be doing Monster Hunter in the Discord server. If you play Monster Hunter, come by for that. But until then, bye bye!